And welcome to Nintendo Pals, the daily dive into all things Nintendo, and starring two friends, two pals, if you would, Nintendo Pals. We are going to be talking this episode about Nintendo's financial reports for Q2, quarter two of 2023. Micah, are you ready to dive on in to this episode?
Yup.
Greetings, fellow Nintendo Pals. My name's Andros. For those that are starting with us new here that haven't been on an episode of Nintendo Pals before, welcome. Stick around. Help us grow. And to take over the world! That's a lot to blast you with right off the bat, I'm sorry. But you can help us to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts by leaving us 5-star reviews on your podcast listening app of choice, or by subscribing over on YouTube, or I don't know, just hit all the positive good buttons that help promote our stuff. We really do appreciate it. It helps us get seen by more people because that's really the only way that happens. We can't rely on robots and algorithms to show Nintendo Pals to the world. We rely on humans like you. Thank you. Micah, let's jump into financials. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. This quarter was an interesting one. We saw the release of several big-ticket games, and we get financial data on those games. So I think we should potentially start with a relook at the top-selling titles on Switch. We lost some and gained some. First off, do you have this list open in front of you? I'm sorry.
I do. The top 10. I think it's 10 at least.
Let's just alternate here. Starting with number 1, the reigning champion that will never die. It's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 57 million units sold. Which, I will add that Nintendo Switch sales are at 132 million units now, as of this financial report. So a little less than half of Switch owners have Mario Kart 8. That's crazy. That's a big number. Yeah.
What's the next number 2? Animal Crossing New Horizons with 43.38 million units sold.
Yeah, and I didn't see how much it increased this last time, but that's a lot as well. And that's followed by Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at 32.4 million. And then we get into
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, 31.15 million.
I'm surprised this and Smash Bros. Are so close together. Also, this has jumped up. This was not like this number wasn't so high for Breath of the Wild last year. I don't think. So I think a lot of people picked up the game this year, which is great. This then we're followed by what place are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th is Super Mario Odyssey at 26.95 million units. So nearly 27 million copies of Mario Odyssey.
6th place is Pokemon Sword and Shield at 26.02 million.
Wasn't that higher than Mario Odyssey previously?
It's a good question.
Am I? Maybe
I don't remember these things.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Hey, if you're out there listening and you remember, let us know. Pokemon Sword and Shield is followed closely behind by Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at 23.2 million pieces. Uh, man, that I mean, that game has cruised to the top seller chart, and the fact that it's only 3 million behind and it came out what 6 years after, 5 years after. That's crazy. It's crazy.
Bad.
It's bad? Is that what you said?
I said it's not bad.
Oh, it's bad. I think there are people that will agree with you, is that this game shouldn't have sold as good as it did. And I may be in that camp. I like it, but it definitely shipped in a very not okay to ship state.
I thought it shipped in a perfectly acceptable state to ship.
Yeah, acceptable. That's a great choice of words. Acceptable, but I mean, even that is, I think, being a little kind to its graphical fidelity.
I mean, if no one said anything, I probably wouldn't have even noticed anything weird happening.
You wouldn't have noticed the light, the shadows popping in and out constantly.
Don't pop that hard.
Are we playing the same game, sir?
Maybe I'm just better at the game.
No, you're just in denial. You're contrarian, is what you are. Yeah.
Then next at 8th place is Super Mario Party with 19.7 million units.
Again, this is crazy to me, and it's going to sell even more because they're bundling that in a bundle this holiday.
True that, and
gosh, we missed that news as well. We didn't talk about that news. We'll talk about it after this. We'll just throw it into this episode because this is news. This is news part 2. All right, news part 2 happening right now. That's followed by, in 9th place, brand new to the list, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom at 19.5 million units sold. That is awesome. That's a lot of copies of a game sold. Are there like sales numbers for Baldur's Gate?
I have no idea. Probably
It'll
somewhere.
be really hard to calculate because they had early access as well.
That's true, yeah. As of August 19th, it has sold 5.2 million units on Steam.
Only 5.2? That doesn't seem like that high.
That was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, but that number I'm looking here includes the 2.5 from early access.
Oh, does it? That's just Steam. I don't know if you can get them Epic Games Store.
Are you sure?
Other things,
where are you seeing that number? Because I'm seeing, as of September 18th, it's close to 10 million.
First thing I searched, article.
Can't trust
from
Google.
August 19th.
Can't trust it. Yeah, this is gonna be
that is a while ago. It could have jumped to 10 million since then.
Yeah. Okay, now this article says it sold 10 million copies on Steam. What is going on? That's in 2022.
2022. Wait a second.
I don't know.
It sold
the reason
an amount of copies.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to know is because I think that those two are going to be the head-to-head for the Game of the Year this year. And I kind of wanted a comparison. Like, okay, a cross-platform game that was really huge and popular this year versus single-platform Zelda. And it looks like Zelda sold comparatively a lot. if any of these numbers are accurate. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Anywho, I've lost my page here. The last on the list is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at 16.7 million units sold. And that's interesting. I wonder if Mario Wonder will overtake that.
I think it will. So good. It's definitely good enough to, and deserves to.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is such a good. Like it's been out longer, and it has legs. Like it keeps selling because it was the only 2D Mario, right? So there'll be a lot of catch up. What?
Now there'll be some competition since it's not the only 2D Mario. I mean,
Yeah.
they got Mario Maker, but different.
Yeah. I don't know, but I am sad to see that Ring Fit Adventure has finally been given the boot and is no longer on the list.
I forgot. That was up there.
It was up there in 10th place, man. It was holding on for many, many years.
Never stood a chance with the release of Tears of the Kingdom, though.
And like 7 Pokemon games. I mean, the fact it stayed up as long as it did is quite impressive. We'll never forget you, Ring Fit Adventure, that you were a bestseller for a vast majority of the Switch's lifespan. So that's what we got going in the financial reports for Nintendo with units sold of different games. There's also, obviously, we see that Zelda was the biggest seller in this last quarter. Sold the most units by far. Pikmin 4 did the best it's ever done. That Pikmin's ever done. At 2.6 million units sold. And that's good. And then also within this last quarter, you can see, is this year to date or is this last quarter only? That Mario Kart went up 3 million units. It just never ends, man. And
it's going to never be Mario Kart 9.
It's going to boost again because it's bundled with the OLED for this year. Like it's going to sell more. That's the thing. So for financial year reporting, how many titles have sold for their, it says number of million seller titles for FY24? That can't be right. Because we're in 23, are we not? Or are we in fiscal year 24?
Probably entering into.
Oh, no, this might be 24. Because they do it weird, where it's like the first quarter is like in the middle of the year. Well, anyways, the last year reported is 16 titles in the million seller club. 12 being Nintendo first-party titles, and 4 titles from other software publishers. And I wonder what those other titles are. They have to be Minecraft, Stardew Valley, and what are the other ones? I'm trying to think of like third-party games. Like Fortnite wouldn't count, right? Because they're not selling anything.
Yeah, I would assume those don't count.
What are the other big games, like our third-party big games on Switch?
Probably the watermelon game. Probably hit 1 million.
You think the watermelon game hit that, huh? It could.
Maybe not, but
I don't think it did yet. Then
probably will at some point.
Yeah.
Unless it dies down the popularity.
Yeah. I think I'd have to look at the bestsellers list and just look through there. So comparisons to last year, this same time, the financial reports are like pretty similar. And now that I'm looking at this chart, yeah, FY24 is fiscal year for 2024, and that's the current one we're in. You'll see the numbers went up slightly for everything. Like it was up. We were up on overall hardware sold. And also up on overall software sold, but kind of maintaining the same speed. But we're also coming into Q3, which is the biggest quarter, being the holiday season for sales. And if you look at the charts, you can see the Q3 for last year sold like 76 million units of Switches. And with how many bundles they're doing this year, let's talk about some of the bundles. You've seen these in the newsroom, I'm assuming, Micah?
Potentially.
So we've got bundle for a Switch OLED that has Smash Bros. Controllers and comes with Smash Bros. Bundle that looks to be like it would be a Mario Kart bundle. And there are also Switch Lite bundles with Animal Crossing. All of these are positioning themselves to sell not only more software but also more hardware in the same two birds, one stone. So Animal Crossing and Mario Kart and Smash Bros are going to get a number boost just from being sold with as bundled with units. And I wonder, because if you look at sales here, we're down 44% in Nintendo Switch sales, but we are up 32% for OLED models sales. So like the shift is happening now, where like what we predicted back when the OLED first was announced and coming out, we're like, yeah, that's gonna be the new base Switch, which wasn't the case. They kept selling the regular Switch and the OLED, and now they are pushing hard for the OLED with bundles and new versions. So I think it's gonna be a big year. But let's switch gears here. That's financials. Do you have anything else you want to talk about with financials, Micah?
Well, I guess just mention that the hardware sales are like 132 million, and the software is like 1.1 billion. So it's like pretty close to like a 10 games per Switch attachment rate, which is pretty good.
Yeah, and
that's a lot.
We make a lot of comparisons to hardware sales with other Nintendo systems. So to give this some perspective, the Wii U sold 13 million. That's an outlier, but the Nintendo 3DS sold 75 million units. And of that 75 million units, software, they sold close to 400 million, which is a far cry from the over a billion, right?
Yeah.
But and the Switch has now passed the Wii in sales, right? By a fair margin now. We're now like 30 million ahead of the Wii, but we're still 20 million below the DS. And PlayStation 2 is up there at like kind of the same astronomical number. However, software is way higher for the Switch versus the DS. The DS is just shy of a billion at 948 million, where software for the Switch is at 1.1 billion. So that's...
Yeah, the only console I can see that has a better ratio would be the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, which isn't even listed on here because it doesn't go back that far. Or does it? No, it does.
I was like, we're looking at different things then.
Yeah, it's down here at the bottom. Why are these relegated to like like a...
I mean, and it's weird. I mean, because the Wii U also had a really good ratio of hardware to software.
Yeah.
But yeah, the GameCube and the Wii U didn't sell that many hardware
units. Yeah, so
systems,
ratios.
So,
the ratio's real good.
But like the Switch has sold a bunch, and it has also sold a bunch of software. So it's been a good system for them.
Yeah, it really has. And I think we're going to see that number spike again, because at least last year, this time, according to their charts, they sold 76 million. Was that just in that quarter? That can't be right. They sold a lot. I can't really read the charts, but yeah, they sold a lot. So I think we'll see a big spike in sales again for this quarter. So we'll see. Okay, let's switch gears here because we forgot to talk about... We talked about the bundles, and I think that is really exciting, and they're definitely positioning to sell more Switch OLEDs. So maybe now will be the time to pick one up if you're still on your day one Switch. But maybe not, because like there's a lot of people that are like, I gotta hold out because the next one's coming soon, right?
At some point.
Nintendo denies that that's the case. And they sort of said that we're focusing on support for the Nintendo Switch, but they haven't like said, oh yeah, we're not announcing a new thing next year. But they said we're focusing on developing for the Nintendo Switch. Like very corporate speak. So last bit of news here, because we forgot to talk about it at the front of the news. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Did you try the new courses, Micah?
Nope, not yet.
I gave them a try before we recorded, and I like them, but I feel like
But you don't like them.
I've got a kind of mixed approach here. I think that there's some really good courses in this pack, but there's also kind of a lot there that I could do without. Not do without, that are just kind of like, okay. And overall, as the final wave, it feels lacking. Does that make sense? Or it's like
You just want something a little extra for the finale.
Right. I'm like, okay, for the finale, let's do something big, right? The new characters, welcome additions. We've got Diddy Kong. Well, some of them are welcome additions. We've got Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Pauline, and Peachette. I'll admit Peachette is a weird pick to put in.
What's with all the Peachette hate? It's essentially Toadette. Toadette only has like
it's
one
just
variant.
essentially Peach again.
No, but it's Toadette.
Yeah. I will say that because I tried out each of the characters. Peachette has a different voice actress than Peach.
Which
and Toadette.
Makes sense because that makes a little less sense.
Yeah, doesn't it make a little less sense? You're like, what's going on here? Who are you? I do like the idea of Peachette existing. It just throws a lot of weird lore into the universe of Mario, like that there's a power-up that can turn you into Princess Peach, but it only works on Toadette. And it's like, what's going on here? And they're never going to explain it. It's never going to be explained, but they're going to keep bringing Toadette and Peachette in for some reason. Anywho, let's talk about courses. I want to talk about the ones that stood out to me, and I'm going to try and remember names. But we have one standout was the SNES Bowser's Castle. I think it's Bowser's Castle 3. They've completely revamped and redone, and it's super cool. I like it a lot. That was a pretty cool course. And then there was the Piranha Plant Cove, I think is what it's called. I think. I'm looking it up on the side here.
Right?
Yeah.
I also feel like there are a lot of cove names already.
Yep. And I will admit, when I saw this in the trailers and even in like the preview for the track in the game, I was like, this seems like it's going to be just kind of meh. But this is it's got cool design and I like it. I like the music and the vibes overall. And Mario Kart Wii Rainbow Road is awesome. They made changes to it, but it just feels like such a cool Rainbow Road level. I don't know. I just was really into that one. I've liked every Rainbow Road they've added. The only one I would say I'm not a huge fan of is the N64 one. I feel like they made it super short and kind of bland. Like I like all the other Rainbow Roads more.
Probably have an opinion if I remembered which one that was.
It's the one with there's like a train.
They all blur together.
A train that flies above.
I thought a new one had a train.
It seems like a new one, but it's a remake of the N64 one, but it isn't the N64 one even a little bit. Now, granted, the N64 one originally is like one of the longest tracks in the history of Mario Kart. It's so long and pretty boring. But
probably why they shortened it.
Yeah, they shortened it, but it's also kind of like it doesn't have the oomph that any of the other ones do. Yeah. So I overall great tracks. There were some. I'm trying to remember what else was in it. You have Daisy Circuit, which had great music. And then there were a couple of tour levels that were just like real cities turned into levels, and those just kind of all blend together for me. They don't stand out enough, so which is a shame because I think they are cool levels, but they just kind of all blur together. That's it. I guess we'll have more to talk about with that next time when you've played it. Sweet. That's where we'll end the episode. Micah, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitch at Micah Prime.
You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Andros1. Remember, you can support the show and help us to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts by following and leaving us a 5-star review on your podcast listening app of choice. Hey, I heard recently, because I'm a podcast listener, all right? I heard my friends over at the Nintendo Dads are doing a giveaway for 5-star reviews. Listen, we can't let them win, okay? We need everybody out there right now to leave us a 5-star review. If you have not yet already, leave us a 5-star review. We got to catch up, and we got to overtake the Nintendo Dads. This is part of taking over the world, is taking over the other podcasts. So help us do that. No, we're not going to do a giveaway, at least not yet. We haven't resorted to that yet.
We're not that desperate.
We're not that desperate. Neither are they. They have plenty of reviews. They're just trying to do something fun for their community. They're awesome guys. But I'm starting my villain arc here. And that is to crush all other Nintendo podcasts for 5-star reviews. Please. And thank you. And if you want to support the show, you can do so by checking out patreon.com/NintendoPals, where you can be a part of the Patreon Poke Rap that we end every episode with, and we will end this episode with, too, starting right now. We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was. And shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzo, Retrologic Dan, Tim the Nintendo Dash, Slim, Tor, Spider Chan, Solo something, Mute Dog the Game, Little Miss 7, and Monkey Thunder.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
Kid, Fiasco, Third Strongest Mole, Fedorable Will, All, and Seth Sturgill, Cosmic, Purple, Yoda, That Fast John, and Mother Plays 2.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more. Yeah, please. To be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Thank you all so much for listening. We will talk to you in the next episode. And, see ya. Bye-bye.